Okay. Try this again. Okay. This is about battered women, and this is about battered women's and abuse. Um, if you are being abused, there are homes out there that will take you. They are called crisis centers, battered women shelters. Um, they're available. If you don't know how to find one, contact the police, the sheriff. Um, they've got them on list. Some hospitals carry them. If not, they can get a hold of them. Clinics carry them. Uh, you just got to ask one of them. Do not sit there and lie to a doctor. Oh, I ran into it when you got bruises on your face, your nose is busted, your mouth is busted, you got bruises all over your body. Oh, I tripped, fell, um, I ran into something, or make an excuse. They know when you're lying. They're there to help you. Do not lie to them. They have seen this crap day after day. When you come in there more than once because you have a broken arm or a broken hand or bruises on your face and you're sitting there, oh, I keep running into the door, I tripped, fell, hit the dresser, or I ran into the wall, or I fell down, or they see this stuff. Do not sit there and tell them that your children did the same, because it's bullshit. Um, I'm going to tell you a story, and it's not very nice. It's not very brutal. So this is warning to young girls out there that have subscribed to my channel and then they come across this one. When you are seeing your parents being abused, that is abuse. You're being verbal abuse, that is abuse. It is also an addiction. Just like alcohol, cigarettes, and any of the other crap, that's addiction. Um, to make a long story short, let's start out with something that's happened in my life. Back in 1980s, I had a cousin who was with a guy in Springfield, Missouri. He was abusive to her. My foster sister went to her house, told her, you need to file a restraining order against him and get away from him. After many hours of talking to her and her sitting there, and my foster sister some bruises on her face and her arm was in the sling, they took her down to, or she went down to the police station, filed a restraining order against him. After many times him breaking it and finally calling her, I won't never hit you again. I'll stop drinking. I'm sorry. I'll do whatever it takes to not do it again. That's a lot, ladies, especially when they do it and they keep coming back and they do it and keep taking them back. You know it and I know it. It's a lie. She dropped his restraining order. He came back. Cousin, my sister went to, foster sister went to see her. She left. Family had to call her the next day to let her know she was killed. He stabbed her 35 to 40, 50 times with a butcher knife. She dragged her body down the hallway from the bedroom to the kitchen to get something, I guess, or trying to get away from him. She dialed 911, screaming on the phone. By the time the cops got there, it was too late. She, this was all on 911, where she was brutally murdered because she took her abuser back. She was stabbed to death by her abuser. She was able to use a claw hammer and smack him in the head a couple of times to bust his skull. So, if you don't want that to be you, please do not stand there and put up with someone who's going to sit there and beat the crap out of you Your children are seeing this. They grow up thinking it's okay. When it comes to these girls and boys are like, well, my dad did that to my mom, so that's normal. So when they get involved, they start doing it. That's not normal. Do not allow this to happen. A lot of ladies will wake up when they're up against the wall, being choked to death, or getting a crap beat out of them. Their kids are over there hiding behind the couch or under the coffee table, underneath the kitchen table, crying and screaming and please stop hitting my mommy and all this. This could be your spouse, this can be your boyfriend, this can be your girlfriend, this can be a significant other or a loved one in your family. Please do not stand there and put up with this crap. If it doesn't kill you first, it will. Open your eyes, find these shelters, and leave. The shelters are called crisis hotlines. There's crisis hotlines, there's crisis centers, there's women battered shelters. They are easy to find if you know where to look. Um, they will help provide you with, if you ain't got the money to, um, if you ain't got the money to get a house, they help you find a job. They will help you if you don't know how to find a home. They will help you even leave the town that you're in. If you have to go clear across, if you're at the Booty Hill, Missouri, and you have to go clear up to the opposite corner, they will help you get there. One side of Texas to the other if you have to, into another state, they help you. They will help you find the funds to get you there, get you away. They will help you find an attorney if you ain't got the money. They will help you find restraining orders. They will help you file for child custody over your children. They will help you what you need to do. If you need to hide, then hide. But there is these places out there. Don't think there ain't. There is. There are all kinds of places out there to help women. They provide you with clothes. They help you provide you with furniture. It may be used, but it is furniture. It is a start. There are people out there that I'm going to use me as an example. I moved away. I didn't have a lick of furniture, but I got a home. I had 2 mattresses on the floor because of all the shelter could provide me at the time. One for my son and one for me. My son was scared to live in his own room by himself. So we end up sleeping in the same room together because he felt safer if he was in the same room with me. I looked in the paper. I found a extra long couch and a love seat for $50. I called the lady and asked her if she'd give me a ride and I'd give her the money for it. They said yes. And I told her I didn't have a way. And then she asked me if I wanted to look at it. And I said at the point, I said, as long as it's decent, I can sit on it. I said, I really don't care because I just came out of a battered shelter. And furniture is furniture to me. And the woman showed up an hour later at my house with the couch, the love seat, dishes, towels, food, toys, a sleeping bag, and a recliner, and blankets. And I told her I didn't have the money to pay for all of it. She told me to keep my money and she gave me $25. And she said, what I want you to do is if you ain't seen the movie, there's a movie out called Pay It Forward. When you're done, pass it to the next. She goes, this is just yard sale stuff. She goes, but I prefer to give it to someone who needs it in that situation because she used to be in that same situation. There are angels out there. So please listen to me, ladies. This is an abuse. It's an addiction. It really is. I learned this in the shelter that I was in. There is a sexual addiction when you can't get enough sex. There is battered women, which women who can't live without the abuse. There is verbal abuse. That is addiction because you can stand there and take up with abuse. There's alcohol abuse, drug abuse. It's all abuse. If any of you guys are interested in this is called Personal Bill of Rights. There are 37 of them. It helps for you to teaches you to say no and other things. I mean, some of them are in pink because these are the things that I needed to work on, in yellow and stuff. But when I print them out, they won't be in that color. If you're interested in these, I'm sure I can sit down and type all these off. If you want them, I can email them to you, or you can give me your address, and I'll do what I can to mail them to you. My advice is if you can't leave with clothes or change of clothes, make sure you have a copy of your birth certificate or a copy of your birth certificate. It's always best to have a copy because your significant other knows where you keep them. Then he's not going to expect anything. If you have copies of them, you can keep them with a family member that knows what's going on and knows that one day you may leave and you need these. You need to have a birth certificate. It's something you have to replace. Your driver's license, which you should keep on you at all times. An extra set of keys if the car is in your name, or in both of your names. A copy of the title, but if not, you can always file for a lost title. You need birth certificates and social security cards of all of the family kids, of the children of you, of the people that are being abused. If you have to put clothes in a drawer, like your dresser drawer, and then throw something over the top of it, and he goes to work, you take it, throw it in the car, and leave. The same thing with your children, because they had talked about people doing that, putting it in a duffel bag, throwing it in a car, and leave. Have an extra. If you have to get a safe deposit box, make sure that you have birth certificates. Try to get a copy of your marriage certificate. You don't have to have the original. A picture of your abuser, because that will help you when they ask you colors of hair, color of eyes, height, social security number. A lot of women took pictures of their spouses and their boyfriends, and on the back of it, they wrote down their social security number, any visible marks like birth marks, and all this stuff. And some of them put them in a deposit box. Some of them just kept them in a vanilla envelope, somewhere along with copies of this stuff. And some were able to keep a little money by putting it in a vanilla envelope and hiding it. There are places out there. Please do not stand there and allow your children to watch you be beat to death. And please do not stand there and allow your children to be abused either. Do not be the coward and stand there and do that. I woke up the day when my ex threw my son across the room by the hair of the head because he was laying in a computer chair, and my ex wanted that computer chair because he didn't want to give up the TV or the computer. He wanted both for himself. And so he just grabbed my son and pushed him away by the hair of the head. I woke up knowing that was wrong. Me being abused was fine, but not my child. He was cheating on me. Every time I came home, I had some type of infection. I had to go to the doctor every time I turned around, and I had to be treated for it. And I ain't had that